Yes, I remember you telling me this. Okay,
So we went to Bill, and you took it from there in Ottawa.
Jim made the case, the embassy made the case that if you really wanted to provide some leverage at very low cost, buying a mule for these nurses was the best bang for the buck you'd get. And it was kind of inconceivable that the mule project would be managed from Ottawa.
Well, no, this would have been micromanaging.
Yes, yes. So
because you've got feed and you've got veterinary bills and shoeing.
So we came up with this idea that maybe a small amount of money could be allocated to the embassy and they would look after the mule-like projects. So we came up with the figure, I think it was 5,000, wasn't it? Just, yeah. So I go back to Ottawa and I remember taking this to the project committee. And it was probably a hydroelectric dam in India or something that came along before our little project. But ours was quite revolutionary in the sense that some modest amount of money would actually be not controlled by Ottawa. And I remember the vice president of CDN was Don Tansley. And he said, well, I don't know whether, I said, well, Mr. Tansley, if helping these nurses with a mule is not development, I'm not sure what is. So Don just rolled his eyes and said, well, all right, we'll do this pilot project. And so
you gave us enough money that we could get 2 mules for 2 nurses.
2 mules.
We named them Pierre and Paul after the Prime Minister and the head of CDN, Pierre Trudeau and Paul Jean-Lajoie. And they did the job beautifully. And we had a small amount of money that we could dole out for veterinary bills, mule shoeing, feed. I think the nurses looked after themselves, or the mules did. But it was a highly successful project. It cost a very small amount of money and made a real difference.
So little did we know, Jim, that the $5,000 we got going might turn into $500,000 for some of the embassies today.
Yes, nowadays certainly it does. And I think it probably still does a lot of good for not very much money. Yeah.